Hey everyone, how's it going? Azrin here, owner of the Calgary Language Nerds, and welcome to today's Learn Gujarati with me YouTube video and, of course, podcast episode. When we're learning a language, Gujarati, French, any language really, it is so important for us to be doing a tremendous amount, lots and lots and lots of listening and reading practice. Listening and reading practice shows us grammar structures in real time usage, so you can see them and hear them being used in a real, authentic way. Listening and reading practice boosts our vocabulary. Listening and reading practice actually supports a lot of our speaking ability. As a fun fact, the more listening and reading practice you do, the better you tend to speak. There's a direct correlation, which I've actually observed in almost a scientific way. I've done a whole bunch of different, I guess you could say case studies, really, case studies of the Calgary Language Nerds, where we've actually looked at with many people. I want to say at least 50, probably more. At least 50 people now, where there's a direct correlation between how much they're listening and reading, their vocabulary size, and then also just with their ability to speak. So listening and reading is really, really important. And today, I'm going to read you a short little story. Now, this story, I'm going to put a link to it in the episode description box. We're going to do a simplified, modified version of the story today. A fun fact, I didn't actually know this. Let me show you. I'll share my screen and show this to you. I don't know if this is a new feature or if I just missed it, which is both are entirely possible. But we've talked about this website here, Storyweaver. Storyweaver has a whole bunch of different Gujarati stories, which is great. Now, what I didn't know until today was that there's a read-along function. And the read-along function actually allows you to hear the story being read to you. So you can not only see the actual story and the actual script, but you can even hear someone read it to you. So you can hear what it's supposed to sound like. Again, I don't know if this is a new feature or if I just literally just never saw that there's a read-along button, but lo and behold, there's a read-along button. Okay, so I'm going to read you, rather tell you this story here today. Again, today will be a kind of a simplified, modified version of it. If you want to go read the original, link is in today's lesson description, the episode description box. Okay. તો આ વાર્તાનું નામ છે મારું બેટ ખોવાયું અથવા કે મારું બેટ ખોવાઈ ગયું એ આ વાર્તાનું નામ છે. તો એક છોકરો છે આ વાર્તામાં અને છોકરો એ ઘરમાં છે. ઘરમાં ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ છે અને એ કહે છે કે મારું બેટ ક્યાં છે? બેટ ક્યાં છે? મારું બેટ મને મળતું નથી, એટલે ખોવાઈ ગયું. તો એ શોધે છે, એ ગોતે છે. બેટ ક્યાં છે? બેટ ક્યાં છે? મને લાગે છે કે કદાચ એને ક્રિકેટ રમવું છે કે હા, આઈ થિંક એને ક્રિકેટ રમવું છે. તો પછી એ બારણા પાછળ જોવે છે. બારણું એટલે કે એ દરવાજા પાછળ જોવે છે ને ત્યાં બેટ નથી. એટલે ત્યાં જોયું પણ ત્યાં બેટ નથી. પછી એ અભરાઈ ઉપર એ જોવે છે, ત્યાં શોધે છે, ત્યાં પણ બેટ નહોતું. પછી એ પલંગ નીચે જોવે છે કે ઓ અહીંયા છે બેટ, અહીંયા છે, ના અહીંયા નથી. તો અલગ અલગ જગ્યામાં જોવે છે કે આ બેટ ક્યાં છે બેટ, મારે રમવું છે. હવે આ વાર્તામાં એક બારી પણ છે અને બારીથી એક છોકરી દેખાય છે અને છોકરી દેખાતું નથી, પણ મને લાગે છે કે એ છોકરી કદાચ એના હાથમાં મને લાગે છે કે બેટ હશે. અને એકચ્યુઅલી આઈ થિંક કે અહીંયા ચેક કરું, હા. ને પછી એ ફાઇનલ અહીંયા છે લાસ્ટ, હા અહીંયા એક ફોટો છે એકચ્યુઅલી વાર્તામાં અને છોકરી એના હાથમાં એકચ્યુઅલી બેટ છે, એક ફોટો છે અને એ ફોટામાં તમને દેખાશે કે એકચ્યુઅલી એ છોકરી એના હાથમાં બેટ પકડે છે. એટલે કે એ ઘરમાં શોધે છે, ગોતે છે કે ક્યાં છે બેટ, મને બેટ જોઈએ છે. પછી છેવટે એને દેખાય, પછી જોવે છે બારીથી કે ઓ આ છોકરી પાસે બેટ છે, એના હાથમાં છે. એટલે છોકરી મને લાગે છે કે બેન હશે, એની બેન છે મને લાગે છે. એવું કઈ લખેલું નથી વાર્તામાં, પણ મને લાગે છે કે બેન એની બેન છે. તો let's leave that there. Okay, let me share my screen and I'll type out a lot of what I said. Okie dokie. Let me also clip my we'll clip my headphones or my on my headphones, my microphone, clip that there. Perfect. So I'll type out a lot of what I said. Okay, here we go. So I said કે આ વાર્તાનું નામ છે મારું પેટ ખોવાઈ ગયું. And actually, in the story name, if you go to the website, it's actually Maru Bet Kovayu. Same thing, pretty much. Kovai Gayu or Kovayu, same thing. My bat got lost. Kovai Gayu, if something is Kovai Gayu, like Akai Kovai Gayu, right? It means that it got lost. Something got lost. તો આ વાર્તાનું નામ છે મારું બેટ ખોવાઈ ગયું. So his bat is lost. He's looking for a bat. Then I said કે એક છોકરો છે. અને એ છોકરો ઘરમાં છે. Easy sentence. એક છોકરો છે, there's a boy. ને એ છોકરો ઘરમાં છે. So he's in a house. ને છોકરો કહે છે કે એને બેટ જોઈએ છે. I also said a bat શોધે છે. You could also say a bat ગોતે છે. શોધે છે or ગોતે છે, same thing. So છોકરો કહે છે, so the boy is saying, છોકરો કહે છે કે એને bat જોઈએ છે. So he wants a bat. Anytime you say like જોઈએ છે is like you want something. મને પેન જોઈએ છે, મને પાણી જોઈએ છે, મને bat જોઈએ છે. So he wants his bat. He wants a bat. So a bat શોધે છે. So he's looking for the bat. શોધે છે means looking for. Another synonym for that is ગોતે છે. A bat ગોતે છે, a bat શોધે છે. So he looks in a whole bunch of places, right? He looks palang, I forget the order of where he looks first and where he looks second, but he looks like palang ni niche જોવે છે or જુએ છે. એ palang ni niche જોવે છે, right? So he looks under the bed. Palang is a bed. There's a couple of words for bed, but one of them is palang. એ palang ni niche જોવે છે. Let's do a. એ palang ni niche જોવે છે. એ બારણા ની પાછળ જોવે છે. You could just say દરવાજાની પાછળ is also an option. દરવાજા. Right? So he looks, પાછળ is behind. બારણા or દરવાજા is like door. So he looks behind the door. There's two words for door in Gujarati. I personally use the word darvajo personally, but you could also say e baranani pachar jove che. That's also fine. So he looks behind the door. Ne tyan nathi. Ane tyan bat nathi. So it's not behind the door. It's not under the bed. Abhrai upar. Abhrai is a word that I actually personally don't use, but oops. Oh no, I stopped the screen share. Let me put it back. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let me put it back here. Sorry. There we go. And we're back. Okay, sorry about that. I clicked the stop share button. So, abhrai upar જોવે છે. Abhrai upar જોવે છે. Abhrai is like a shelf. So he looks on top of the shelf. Abhrai upar જોવે છે. ને ત્યાં નથી. અને ત્યાં પણ નથી. એ અલગ અલગ જગ્યામાં ચેક કરે છે, જુએ છે. He's looking in a whole bunch of places. Alag alag is like different. Like alag alag is like a whole bunch of different places. Alag alag jagya, alag alag marso, alag alag anything. Alag alag anything. It's like different, a whole bunch of different places in this case. એ અલગ અલગ જગ્યામાં જુએ છે પણ બેટ નથી. બેટ નથી. Then I said કે આ વાર્તામાં એક બારી છે. And actually, I could just say આ ઘરમાં if you want. આ ઘરમાં, it doesn't really matter. આ ઘરમાં એક બારી છે. So there's a varta is like story. So in the story, there's a window. Ek bari cha. Bari is a window. Or you could just say a ghar ma ek bari cha. So there's a window in the house. અને બારીથી એક છોકરી દેખાય છે. So through the window, બારીથી એક છોકરી દેખાય છે. You can see, like a girl can be seen. Dekhai is like I'll give you a couple of things with dekhai. It's usually mixed with like mane dekhai or tane or tamne dekhai ene dekhai ene dekhai. Right? You could say yeah, anyway, I'm not going to write them all out, but let's just stick with mane and tamne for the time being. Let's just stick with that for the time being. So they say like mane dekhaiche, like mane blah 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 dekhaiche. It means that I can see something. Word per word, it means like let's just put like a word like pakshi. Pakshi is a bird. So it's kind of like saying pakshi, the bird, is seen. Dekhaiche, oops, there we go. Dekhaiche is like is seen. So the bird is seen by me. The bird is seen by you. The bird is seen by him. So ane barithi ek chokri dekhaiche. So a girl is seen outside the window by, well, I guess by us, the reader, right? Ek chokri dekhaiche. Then I said, mane lage che કે બેટ છોકરી ના હાથમાં હશે. So મને લાગે છે, I think, મને લાગે છે કે bat, so I think that the bat છોકરીના હાથમાં. So if we break that down, છોકરી is the girl, hat is hand, right? So છોકરીના હાથમાં means in the girl's hand. So this na at the end of chokri is kind of like an apostrophe s. So if I wrote that in literal English, it'd be like girl's hand in the girl's hand. That chokri na hat ma hase. Now hase typically means like literally means will be. So if you translate this whole sentence, mane lage che ke bat chokri na hat ma hase. It means like I think the bat will be in the girl's hand. This will be, however, in Gujarati also translates to must be. Yeah, I think it must be in her hand. Mane lage che ke bat chokina hatma hashe. I think it must be in her hand. That's what I'm thinking. Right? Then I actually went further into the story. I was kind of like looking through the pages, and I did say, okay, I forget how he said it exactly, but ek photo che, ane e photama, ek e photama દેખાય છે કે બેટ છોકરીના હાથમાં છે. So એક photo છે. This is a picture. It's a picture book, right? It's a picture book. So એક photo છે. There's a picture. ને એ ફોટામાં, right? So in that picture, એ ફોટામાં દેખાય છે. It can be seen. We already saw that earlier. કે બેટ છોકરીના હાથમાં છે. It's in her hand. Right? Then I said at one point in the story too, okay, મને મને લાગે છે કે એ છોકરી એની બેન હશે, or એની બેન છે. You can say હશે or છે. So મને લાગે છે કે એ છોકરી એની બેન હશે. So I think that girl it must be his sister. Right? That હશે is like it must be his sister. એની બેન હશે. Or quite simply, in simpler Gujarati, મને લાગે છે કે એ છોકરી એની બેન છે. So it's the boy's sister, right? Um, and yeah, મને લાગે છે કે એ છોકરી બેન હશે, છોકરાની બેન હશે. There's some other, that's pretty much the gist of the story. Did I say anything else? I did say this as well. I said, વાર્તામાં એવું લખેલું નથી. વાર્તામાં એવું લખેલું નથી. એવું pretty much just means like It's kind of the same thing, honestly. In most cases, they're pretty interchangeable. I might do a separate video talking about that, but we'll leave it pretty much the same as So વાર્તામાં or evu, લખેલું નથી. લખેલું is like written. So it's not written. It doesn't say that it's a sister. It's not written that it's a sister, but we can assume that probably it's a sister, probably. એવું લખેલું નથી, પણ મને લાગે છે કે એ છોકરી એની બેન હશે. There's another video. I've talked about this a couple times. I'll talk about it again today. This elu ending, લખેલું, કરેલું, pidhelu, whatever. Any verb with, vanchelu. There's a couple things that it could mean. Let me stop my screen share. So let's just take, for example, let's just take one simple verb like lakhelu, for example. So lakhelu has two meanings. The actual grammatical meaning is something like, let's not do lakhelu actually. Let's pick a different verb. Actually, lakhelu works. Lakhelu is like, the actual meaning of it is like written. Like something is written. We don't know who wrote it, but it's written. Like I have a piece of paper. I have a lot of paper here, but they're all like bills and stuff. I probably shouldn't hold them up on the screen, but there's a bunch of papers and stuff here, right? I can hold it up and like, here's a paper. There's some stuff written on the paper. There's stuff written on it. Lovely, right? Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff written on it. But there's another way. That's that elu ending. Lakhelu, karelu, right? So something is karelu. It has been done. It is done. We don't know who did it, but it's done. But there's a number of Gujarati speakers who will use that elu ending for a simple past tense. So in the simple past tense, I would say something like, I don't know, me a karyu. I did this, whatever the this is, homework or who knows, right? Me a karyu. I did this. But there's many Gujaratis who will also say me a karelu, and it's the same thing. Me a karyu. So that elu ending, it could just mean something is done, but it also, a lot of people do use it as a replacement for the simple past tense. I'll tell you one final fun story, then we'll wrap up today's lesson. Today, one of my private Gujarati students asked me a funny question. She's like, Azrin, I'm listening to my partner, because her partner is Gujarati. I'm listening to her talk, and I swear that my partner, with one talking to her mom, isn't conjugating the verb like che, cho, chu the right way. Like I feel like she's doing tu, chu. So like tu kam kare chu instead of tu kam kare che. And it's funny, it got me thinking, right? Because Gujarati has so many different dialectal differences. It has so many different ways that people talk. So in my family, for example, we actually do I think it's very peculiar. I haven't heard it done by many people. I haven't heard it a lot. It's really just my family that I've heard it from. But my family, for example, they actually mix the che and the cho conjugations up. Not mix it up, but they interchange them quite a bit. So I can ask my mother, for example, tu kya cho, when really by all grammatical standards, we should be saying tu kya che. But by saying tu kya cho is something that we will often do. And that is perfectly, like many people in my family talk that way. It'll be tu su karo cho. Like, what are you doing? But with tu, it should be tame su karo cho. But we'll say tu. We actually mix that quite a bit. And I think the punchline there is Gujarati, more than any other language I've studied quite a number, more than any other language I've studied, is so flexible in so many ways as to what is considered correct, what is considered incorrect. And it's just very, very flexible in that way, which is absolutely fascinating, at least at least to me. So anyway, thank you for watching today's video. I will, as I said, put a link to that story, the full story, in the episode description box. So you can go read it, listen to it. Again, there's actually a lot more that happens in the story than what I told you. He looks in a lot more places and a lot more happens. And so you're more than welcome to go read that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next lesson. Outro. Bye.